pretty elite rebounder. He looked like he struggled a little bit tonight. What did you see out there?
Yeah, I mean, I got to watch the film on some of them. You know, like obviously with their three-point shooting, as you mentioned, a lot of times, you know, we have him up in coverage, so there are shots going up. There's rolls, and a lot of times he's trying to get back in. You know, I think one of the things that happened too that led to threes was ball containment, and obviously when you're the back line of defense like he is, sometimes the rotation piece, you know, where he's out of position, you know, because he's having to help. So there was a combination of things. Certainly, I think collectively as a team, we needed to do a much better job blocking out, you know, than we did. But the threes for them, I think, came on like a lot of penetration kind of plays, and we were in rotations. And sometimes when you're in rotation, those are the hardest ones to rebound.
Do you feel like you were able to get out to contest to those, or were they kind of open? What did you see there?
I think that we gave up too many open ones in the first half, and it was our lack of ability to control the ball. You know, Pritchard downhill, White downhill. And then I think some of them also, quite honestly, came off of offensive rebounds, you know. And early in the game, we did not do a good enough job putting bodies on people, you know, when we needed to. And it wasn't always necessarily man on man as much as it was the rotational piece. But I think we needed to, it wasn't even so much the rotation part, because a lot of it was catch and shoot. It wasn't like we were obviously on drives trying to be there to help each other. But when the ball got sprayed out, a lot of times they were just getting it off before we could get there.
Billy, Dalen has given you some really good minutes the last couple of games. What have you liked about the minutes he's given you, and also his progression from the start of the season till now? What do you like about?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you know, him going through what he has to focus on in terms of what he can control, you know, and I think a lot of times early in the year, understand the importance and the attention to detail to personnel, to scouting, to those kind of things. You know, he's always had a great motor. He's a great competitor. You know, but sometimes you need more than that. And I think part of what he's done is he's been a lot more detailed in some of those areas. You know, that's helped him. And then we've always wanted him to stay aggressive, you know, offensively. I know we had some open shots. The ball didn't go in, but he obviously had some great finishes and, you know, great putback. But I think he continues to get better. He works hard and he's pretty driven, and I think that's always a good combination in terms of guys' growth.
Billy, I think over the last month or so, you guys are towards the bottom 3 or 5 in the league defensively. Do you kind of get that feeling just kind of seeing how things are progressing out there? Is that something you've kind of noticed slipping a little bit?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's basically, you know, the two things that stand out, and it's been a little bit better since the All-Star break, but the two things that have hurt us have been the rebounding, you know, and also the fouling. You know, that those would be the two things that have stood out, that have really kind of driven it down. Our first shot defense has not been bad. It's been pretty good, but it's been the second chance opportunities that have hurt us. And then also, I think, you know, some of the fouling, the ability to go vertical, not try to reach, you know, some of those things. Those would be two things that I think stood. If you're looking at last year compared to this year, that would be two areas that have probably hurt our rating.
Having kind of similar personnel to last year, what do you think is the difference then in terms of where the defense stands right now versus this time last year?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we have necessarily the same personnel. I wouldn't agree with that. There's players that are here. I mean, clearly we're playing with a smaller group, so collectively we got to rebound. You know, it is what it is. You know, there's times we get our guards are court down inside and they're trying, but there's times they're overmatched, and then there's other times we need to flat out just need to do a better job. You know, I think the other part of it, you know, is the discipline of the fouling. You know, you're getting guys like Obi, like Dalen, some younger guys, Julian, that have gotten an opportunity to play, and they're learning through some of those things. You know, I think like I said, our first shot defense has been pretty good, but the fouling and the rebounding have got to be areas that we continue to try to, you know, shore up as best we can.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.